Every week before the election, our series 3 Meals hits the road. What are we doing? Talking to voters over breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Today, we're taking you to Texas, a reliably red state with some blue dots that are growing bigger. This year, the Senate race in Texas is historically very close. Polls show incumbent Republican Senator, that's Ted Cruz, with about a 3-point lead over Democratic Congressman Colin Allred. Texas has had 2 Republican senators since 1993. Omar Villafranca traveled to the Lone Star State to see what's on voters' minds with Election Day just 1 week away.
Out in the Lone Star State, author John Steinbeck famously said, "Texas is a state of mind. It's proud, pioneering, and just plain big." Like the generous breakfast servings here at Honor Cafe in Conroe, just outside of Houston in Montgomery County, one of the more reliably red counties in the state. The restaurant is a community staple, serving and saluting veterans and their families, owned by retired Marine Chris Sadler.
What is the biggest issue for you, and who are you voting for?
Well, I'm a conservative. I've been a Republican since I was young, and I'll vote that way. I'm a businessman. I have a business in the United States of America. We've seen detriment to our monthly revenue here because families are hurting because of the economy. And you know, that first notch in the belt is restaurants and movie theaters.
Have you noticed your food prices, are they going up? Are they fluctuating?
So when we opened this place 4 years ago, we used a 30-pound case of chicken breast. That case of chicken cost me $48. That case of chicken today cost me about $170 a case.
Higher menu prices haven't stopped loyal customers Diana Wacchese and her friends from dining in.
I am voting Republican, and the big issue is immigration. They come in, they get money, they get health care, they get cell phones, they get housing, they get food. Our crime has gone up. You know what? Come to this country, fine and dandy, but do it legally.
Sitting nearby was Vietnam Navy veteran James Hopper, a regular who's voting for Trump and likes his coffee like he likes his leaders, strong.
I think the big issue is to get our country back to the way it used to be, where there was trust between people, trust between our elected officials.
Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill used to go at it.
Oh yeah.
But afterwards, they'd share a drink together.
That's right.
Do you think we'll ever go back to that, where the loyal opposition won't be mortal enemies?
I think if we don't, we're in a world of hurt. And I'd use a different word if we weren't on TV.
A sailor word?
It's a sailor word.
We are all wrapped up here in Conroe. We are now headed to College Station, Texas, a little bit more than an hour away, home of Texas A&M University, the Fighting Aggies. A lot of maroon there, and that counting is turning purple. So we stopped by the famous Dixie Chicken in College Station. The late night spot knows how to serve up a good time, bringing in college students like Braden Baylor and Joshua Hutchins, who just got back from preparing for the Aggie bonfire.
So this is your first election. Who are you going to vote for?
As of right now, I'm voting for Trump, and I'll be the first one to admit I am not a fan of Trump as a man.
I agree. I think Trump opens his mouth too much, but he stands for a lot of the values that I have.
Brady Arthur is an entomologist working in the ag business.
Who will you be voting for this election cycle?
I will be voting as a Republican.
We have a Senate race here that is getting a little bit of attention here.
Yes.
Are you paying attention to down ballot races?
Yes, and I most definitely am not a person who straight ticket votes. And so whether it be for a county judge to a county commissioner all the way up to the President of the United States, I like to vet the candidates that I will be voting for.
We are full here in College Station, and our next stop, Austin, and the home of the University of Texas at Austin.
Points down, baby!
But first, a quick stop at Buc-ee's for a snack.
Made it out. Beaver nuggets, beef jerky, and a t-shirt.
2 hours later, we made it to Güero's Taco Bar in Austin, known for its Tex-Mex. After a few too many tacos, I sat down with server Trey Ramirez.
Is there an issue that motivates you to vote?
I don't want to be in a country of hate and division and retribution. I feel like the country has been so divided that another Trump term would ruin this country.
Do you think Texas could ever be a battleground state?
I think it's getting there. I think the issue of abortion is helping that.
It was the deciding factor for voter Natalie Nicholas.
I'll be voting for Kamala for sure.
What would it mean for you to have the first female president?
So to me, it just kind of feels like it's about time that you would have somebody who represents half the country leading.
But some voters, like Delroy Perrin, are still on the fence, even with days to go.
Have you made up your mind who you're going to vote for?
No.
Not at all. Are you leaning one way or the other, or are you? What are your options here?
Not voting at all.
What's your biggest hope that happens for the country after this election?
I mean, I feel like whoever is elected, I think we all need to stand behind them. And whatever that outcome is, like it needs to be a sense of unity.
Little perspective here. Donald Trump won Texas in 2016 by 9 points. In 2020, that was 6.5 points. So we're expecting that trend to continue, but we don't know what the margin is. But we do know the stakes will be higher because Texas went from 38 to 40 electoral votes, and we all know that electoral tally is important during election time. Back to y'all.
It's everything, yeah.
Boy, I always wince a little bit, Omar, when I see people say, well, I might not vote, especially when you're a young person.
Right.
It's such a privilege to be able to vote and have a say about what happens in the future.
Yeah, and even if
I hope he changes his mind.
And not voting is making a decision.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And those Senate races there are a big deal in Texas.
Yeah, and Omar, I gotta ask, because I've heard about Buc-ee's, what was it like in there?
It is amazing, first of all. They have a beef jerky bar that will change your life. And every time I go up to New York, I bring Buc-ee's beaver nuggets, and everybody loves them. I'll do it again.
I hope that T-shirt you bought is for Nate. Bring it back here to New York.
Please.
Omar, thank you very much.
All right,
I appreciate it. Ahead, Apple will pay $1 million if you can hack their system. That's in Talk of the Table. Stick with us.